What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and we are here for part 2 of the Raptor engine rebuild. I don't know about you guys, but here in Rhode Island we have been getting a ton of rain. It's been really bad. I'm going to show you guys my backyard. That's the garage, and there's usually a little stream way back here, but you can see how far it is into the yard. The water is right there. It's about 4 inches from flooding the garage. You can see my AC unit back there. That actually broke earlier this winter because of the same thing happened, and the water didn't quite recede yet, but it's definitely making me a little nervous. I hope we don't get any more rain, guys, because this is not good. You can see right here how much we gotta go. Basically to the top of the door is to the top of my floor. 4 inches, and we're gonna be swimming in the garage pretty soon. So back to work on this Raptor engine, guys. Hopefully you guys caught part 1. I'll leave a link in the description up there. You guys can check it out. We got the cases together. We got basically the bottom end done. So today we're going to be working on all the seals on the outside of the engine, and then we're going to work on the flywheel side and then the clutch side, get all that stuff done. And then the final part of this video series will be the top end. So we got parts everywhere still. We got parts in there. We got parts in there. We got some parts over here, but let's get to work, guys, and get these side cases completed. So we do have a new O-ring for the counter shaft. We're going to pop that in first. And then we have a new seal. I just have a large socket to kind of tap that in. That looks pretty good. All right, and then we have a new spacer. So you want the notch side face down. We will give that a little tap as well. That is on there. We do not have a new sprocket yet, but that's not a big deal. Then we have our seal retainer. 2 10mm bolts, 89 inch-pounds. We do have a clip that goes on the bottom. It wasn't on the old engine. It might be on the quad somewhere. I'm gonna have to look, but we can pop that on after once I figure out what it's holding. Could be some wiring for these 2 sensors, I would imagine. All right, those are good. We do have a locking washer that we can just throw on here for now. And then we do have our nut. All right. So we do have a seal for the shift lever. That's going to go right here. And then for our reverse mechanism, we have a seal, we have a washer, and we have a circlip. And then we have the actual little reverse lever bracket with a spring. So we got to put the seal on first. I'll try to do this carefully because this thing does slide down. Actually, no, it's holding. So the seal, I'm just pushing it with my fingers. It's like totally fine to do that. All right, we have our washer. And then we have a circlip. I'm gonna have to lift up on this just a little bit. I might have to push the seal in a little more. So now we can put our washer and then our clip. All right, we can put on the little reverse switch lever. I believe it goes like this. There's a spring that locks on. There's a little tab on the engine, and then the little lever locks onto the shaft. I'm gonna put a little bit of red Loctite on this. It doesn't say it needs it, but I'm just gonna put a little dab of it on there anyway. And this guy is 89 inch-pounds as well, 10 millimeter. All right, that's that. We do have our neutral and reverse gear indicators. Neutral is on top and reverse is down bottom. These are a 14 millimeter. I'll see if I can find some torque specs on these. Looks like it is 13 foot-pounds. All right, so that's those. All right, we're gonna start with the clutch side. Case half, starting with the balancer drive gear, then the primary drive gear, and then the water pump drive gear. This is our balancer drive gear. You see these couple of timing marks. This is gonna face out. This also does have a key, but you're gonna wanna pop the gear on first. Kind of get it on there. Come on. There we go. I'll get the key kind of in place. And that's that. All right, next we have the primary drive gear. That's this guy right here. So this part is gonna face out. Just line it up with the key. And she should slide on, hopefully. Just like that. And then we have the last gear, which is for the water pump. So this one is kind of obvious. It has an indentation on the inside. That's going to face in. And then there you have those three. We have a locking tab. And then we have our nut. So we're going to install the balancer drive gears next. So these have also a key and a timing mark right there. So this is going to kind of get timed. With this, we can start with one first. Hopefully we can just pop that in and slide this guy in. All right, so now we're going to kind of rotate this so these two marks line up. So that looks pretty good. There's one. We're just going to throw our locking tab on this real quick just so it doesn't move, and then we'll put the nut on loosely. All right, so then we have the front counter balancer gear. I can already tell you it needs to go up. Actually, no, it's gonna go kind of like that. I don't want to lose this key. That's the problem. I can't really, I can hold it from the inside. All right, so we have our key in place. We're just gonna get this one started. I think that is right there. We're just going to take a peek at that from this side. It does look pretty good. All our dots are lined up. Get our locking tab on that. And then our nut. And then I think we'll be able to torque these down. All right, so the front counterbalancer drive gear, we will torque first. All right, that's that guy. So that is a 27 millimeter. So front balancer drive gear nut, 44 foot-pounds. We have our handy dandy gear jammer. I don't know if it's going to work on this. It might work, it might not. Yep, that'll work on the bottom. And I can try to hold it with one hand and then hopefully get it. All right, we got that one. All right, so now we're going to do the crankshaft nut. Oh, that is going to be 81 foot-pounds. That should be fun. We have to break into our larger sockets, I believe. I don't think it's that one. Nope. Luckily, we do have a larger socket kit. So that guy is a 36 millimeter, 81 foot-pounds. This one might be a little tricky. I wish I had an engine stand for this, but I don't. And this engine is way too big to fit on the one that I have for the YFZ. So we'll just try to get this locked in and hold on to it as best I can. Alright, so I think this way we can use this now. Alright. This is going to be super hard. Oh, that's a little better actually. Alright, we got it. We win. We'll do the last balancer drive gear nut, which is 44 foot-pounds. Be able to lock it with this bottom one. Like that. Yep. Alright. This one should be a little easier because it's only half the torque specs. Oh, it just went. I'll give it just a little more. Alright, that's all three. Now we just need to bend over all the tabs. I just like to use channel locks for that. Alright, so we'll bend over these tabs. There's one on each one. Might have to just kind of tap them. I kind of get them started with a flat head, and then you can grab them with the channel locks. See what that does. Oh yeah, that worked. Nice. Got the big boy right here. Yep, I got that one. Alright, then the last one right here. Alright, those are all locked in, torqued down. Alright, we're going to work on the oil pump next. Now it does say to fill up the oil pump with oil, so I already went ahead and did that. I also have a new gasket right here. You can see the oil in there. So there is two O-rings that go inside here. The other one. And then we can put the oil pump in. Let me just see how it's going to go like that. And we have this little bracket that comes on here. So to secure that, there are three 5mm Allen head bolts. These are 89 inch-pounds. All right, so then we do have a new oil pump drive gear. We can pop that on along with a brand new circlip. All right, then we have the oil baffle plate, which just goes like that. So you will put a little bit of Loctite on these bolts. These are number 4 Allen. And then these will be 35 inch-pounds. All right, those are good. All right, so we have a second oil baffle plate that covers this timing gear. We're gonna do a little bit of red Loctite on those bolts. Those are 8mm. And then those are 89 inch-pounds for torque specs. It's just 3 8mm bolts. All right, those 3 are done. All right, next we're going to finish up the shift drum along with the shift shaft lever and then all these components that go in here. So first thing we need to do is put the shift drum stopper. So there is a little notch on the inside of that. You're just gonna line it up with a little pin on the shift drum, and that'll go right into place. We have our bolt. It's a 12mm, and this is going to be 22 foot-pounds. All right, that went. Now we need to install the pawl holder. That's this guy. So just be careful. These things have springs and caps, and these can like bounce out of place and they can fly around and you might have a hard time finding them. So you kind of just squeeze it in and then it should go in like that. Just line up that plate. So these bolts are 10mm and these will be 89 inch-pounds. We are putting a little bit of Loctite on them. All right, those are tight, so we can install the shift shaft lever. There's a washer that goes on the inside, and then the shift drum, the other part of the shift drum stopper. So this little wheel will lock into the shift drum stopper. Make sure I got the spring right. So you're gonna line this up. There's also this little washer that has to go back on that shift drum piece. Just line these two together. Might have to kind of push down on the shift drum. All right, so that's locked in. We just gotta get the spring. There's a little spot for the spring to go right there. Come on, almost there. All right, we got that. All right, we're gonna work on the clutch next. Let's start with our basket. We're just gonna rotate it until it locks in with all the gears. So it'll push in just like it did. We have our washer. And then we have our hub. We have a conical washer that has an out mark, so make sure that faces out. And then we have our nut. $30mm nut, and this will be torqued to 70 foot-pounds. We're going to use our handy dandy EBC basket tool, and then see if I can get this. I might have to put something on this tool for some leverage. I'm gonna put my channel locks, not my channel locks, I'm gonna put a large adjustable wrench on it, and I think that'll give me a little more torque. I can get this thing to go. Let's try that. All right, we got it. All right, so this does have a little locking tab on the nut. We're just gonna hit that over. Right here. All right, now we can start with our plates. We did soak them in oil, so we got a brand new clutch kit. Just keep in mind, if you are doing this, you'll start with the smaller friction first. I'm going to put a rag under here because it's going to get messy. So smaller friction first. It's going to lock in, well, it's going to go around the judder springs, and then basically alternate with a steel friction until you finish the pack. It definitely kind of stinks that this does not have like a separate clutch cover just over the clutch. It's the actual whole clutch side case cover in one shot, so you got to take that whole thing apart to access this, which definitely is a pain, I would imagine, if it's in the quad. I'll have to see, but all right, now we can get our pressure plate. Just remember, your throwout bearing has to go on the inside of this thing. All right, so pressure plate can go on. And then we have brand new springs. And then our pressure plate bolts. These will be 71 inch-pounds. Torque them down. Probably gonna need my gear jammer again. All right, that is done. All right, before we put on that clutch cover, we're just going to install the components on the flywheel side, because I think I'm going to have to use the gear jammer again to torque down the flywheel nut. So we'll do that first, and then we'll do both covers at the same time. So first thing we can do is we can drop our timing chain in, lock it into place. Probably just gonna fall, but hopefully we can grab it. Maybe I'll just lay it this way. All right, so that's good. Then we have one of our timing chain guides. We did replace this one. So that has two 10mm bolts. 89 inch-pounds for the torque specs. All right, that is that one. So because this is new cases, we do need to put the new bushing inside of that flywheel cover. We're going to put the starter gear on first, and then we'll put the key in place. A little bit of assembly lube on here. Get our key and line her up. All right, we have a washer, and then we have our nut, 22mm nut, 44 foot-pounds for the torque specs on this. Let me just get that off that first lever so I don't bend it. All right, we got that. We're just gonna put a little bit of oil in these spots. Idler gear right there, and then we have our dampener. We can put in our starter. All right, I think we're ready to do the side cover on this. We do have a couple dowel pins, so I just like to put a little bit of oil on these guys. I always tell you that. It'll make it easier to take them out. The other ones I had to ruin to get out, but obviously those were original. This machine did sit outside for a little bit, so we will grab a fresh gasket. All right, time for the flywheel cover. Boom, just like that. Get all our bolts. 8mm, and they're 89 inch-pounds. All right, that's all of them. Now we'll go ahead and do the clutch side cover. All right, now we're going to take care of the clutch cover. I just have to see how that. All right, so that goes like this. That needs to go like that. All right, we got a couple dowel pins. We put some oil on them. We have a fresh gasket. And now our cover. I'm not sure how this is supposed to work, so I'm going to kind of push it in, and then I think if you I don't know if that's engaging or not. The cover is on all the way. All right, well, I'm gonna bolt this on. If I have to take it back off, then so be it. I think I got it. I just need to bolt the cover down. This way I can try to push it a little easier. All right, so we have a couple clips that need to go on, a couple brackets that need to go on this side. We have this one up here for the clutch cable. We have another one down here. I believe that's where, no, maybe that's where that one goes. I'm just gonna have to, I think there's one that goes in the front, I think right there. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at these closely, but I'll get all the bolts in place. I know this one is correct for sure. Rear brake light switch bracket. So that one looks like that guy right there. I think this hose was cut anyway, so I don't know. It looks like it's right here. I'll have to double check. This engine is starting to get heavy. Holy crap. She's got some weight to her. And we don't even have the top end on yet. It's gonna be fun throwing this thing into the quad, that's for sure. I should say not fun. All right, it looks like we got them all in place. We'll go ahead and start torquing them down. They are 8mm bolts and 89 inch-pounds. Crisscross pattern. All right, guys, this is a wrap for part 2. The bottom end is complete. I do need to rebuild the water pump. I think I'm just going to save that installation for part 3 along with the oil filter and cover. I do not have a new filter yet, so I can't do that. So we'll just put that in part 3 along with the top end. We'll do the piston, we'll do the cylinder, and then we'll do the cylinder head. We'll get everything in time. We got a couple small things to do, like these bushings in the back of the engine case. We do need a speed sensor. I don't think he has that. We're gonna have to get a new front sprocket. I don't think he has that either. And I think that's about it. Overall, I'm pretty happy with how this is going so far. There's a few things that are tricky, but nothing that you just take a few extra minutes, check the manual, and then you can figure it out. There are some more of these brackets that I need to figure out where they go. So we'll figure that out. I'm pretty sure I got these right. I know I got that one right. I'm pretty sure I got that one right. I just need to figure out these, and then we'll be good to go. But that's a wrap for this one, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed part 2 of this Raptor engine rebuild. And make sure you give me a thumbs up. That helps a ton. Drop some comments. Let me know what you think. And if you're not yet, please subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one. All right? Peace.